how to create the fields. Now, what is a field? How we are going to create the fields? What is a field and how we are going to create the fields? Field is nothing but column in the regular database. Field is nothing but column in the regular database. You call it as a column in the table. We call it as a field in the object. So field is nothing but a column in the regular table. Now there are two types of fields what we have. One is standard field, other one is custom field. Now when you say standard field, any field created by the Salesforce, are called standard fields. Now these fields cannot be deleted. Some of the standard fields are also called as system fields. Any field created by the Salesforce are called standard fields. Some of the standard fields are also called as system fields. Now, the field which was created by the Salesforce are called standard. If the values are also entered by the Salesforce, then they are called system fields. The moment I say system field, the values cannot be modified. System field values cannot be modified. When I say field as a system, fields are created by the Salesforce, values are also entered by the Salesforce. We can only use those type of fields which are called system fields. Again, I repeat, standard fields. Now, the fields which are created by the Salesforce are called standard fields. Now, when I say fields are created by the Salesforce, the value can be entered by the user or a system. We are only speaking about the field. Who is going to enter the data? User can enter it or system only can enter it. Look at the point. If you look at account, new, you are able to see here. Account name, parent name, industry. These fields are created by the Salesforce. But who is going to enter the data? I am going to enter the data. So fields created by the Salesforce are called standard fields. Now look at this. Who entered this data? Field was created by Salesforce. Values are also provided by the Salesforce. Now if I open any one of the record, now there are some fields like created by. This data is provided by Salesforce only. Last modified by, data is created by Salesforce. There are some fields whose data is created by the Salesforce only. They are called system fields. I hope you are good with this. So standard fields and some of the fields are called system fields. What are those fields? Let us understand now. First one, we had ID.
Satish, not audible.
This were not audible.
Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, now audible.
Right. Now, first one we had ID. What is this ID? First field is ID. What was this ID? every record that we create in the Salesforce, it will have 18 character unique ID. Basically, it's a 15 character unique ID. Salesforce makes it as 18 to make it case insensitive. Every record we create in the table, Salesforce will create 15 character unique ID. Based on this ID, we will recognize record in the table uniquely. Based on this ID, we will recognize record in the Salesforce uniquely. Are you getting my point? By default, look at the point. What is this? This record has an ID. Look at this. What was this? 15 character ID. For every record in the table, this is the record. For this record, this is the ID. Like that, for every record, Salesforce will show 15 character ID. Let me see. I'm at different page. If I give this ID, it will take me back to that particular record. So this record is recognized by what? This ID. Now, who creates this ID? Who creates? Salesforce by default create 15 character ID based on which Salesforce will recognize this. Salesforce will recognize this uniquely in the organization. Okay. Now look at this. We had a company profile, right? The company profile we have seen. What was this? 00D6. I told you 15 character ID will be there based on which your organization is recognized by the Salesforce. In the organization ID, what we had, look at this 00D6F. Okay, we'll come back to this. Now, if you look at this ID, what was this? 6F. Are you getting that ID? What was that? 0016F. We are finding that. Now, what is this 001? Look at the point. Account. For every object, I told you 3 character unique ID will be given by Salesforce. Now, what is the ID for account? 00. So, for the table account, unique ID is 001. For a table account, what is the unique ID? 001. Okay. Now, when I open any one of the record in the table, what we are going to get? 001 followed by remaining. So, what is the first 3 characters here? First 3 characters will specify object. Next, what are these 2 characters? Organization ID. Now the next 2 characters indicate what? Organization. Next 2 characters indicate what? Organization. Last 3 characters indicate record. Last 4. Remaining characters are used for internal purpose. Now when you are going for this, look at the point. 15 character ID will be generated by Salesforce. First 3 indicate object. Next 2 indicate organization. Last 4 indicate record ID. Remaining characters are used for internal purpose. Now it is a case sensitive. So what Salesforce has done? This 15 character ID they converted into 18 character by adding 3 more extra characters. Now that is what? Case insensitive. So which ID we are going to use? 18 character ID we are going to use. Now actually how many IDs are given? Only 1 ID. It is a case sensitive. To remove that case sensitive, people have added 3 more characters, made that ID as 18 characters, with which it has become case insensitive. Are you clear? So by default, Salesforce, for every record they create 18 character unique ID, which is a case insensitive. In this ID, first 3 represent object, next 2 organization, last 4 your record ID. Remaining characters are used for internal purpose. I hope you are good. Again I repeat, Salesforce by default create 18 character ID for every record. Internally it only create 15 characters, but Salesforce will add 3 more characters to this to generate 18 character ID to remove the case sensitiveness. 15 is a case sensitive, 18 is a case insensitive. For the same 15 characters, they added 3 more characters, made this as 18 character. First 3 indicate object, next 2 indicate organization, last 4 indicate record number. I hope you are good. Right. So when is this ID created? ID for the record will be created only after the record is saved to database. After the record is successfully committed to the database, after the record is successfully saved to the database, ID will be created. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Now, so what is the difference between 15 and 18? Case sensitive. Actually, how many IDs are created? Only one ID. 15 is created. Then Salesforce will add 3 more and make it 18. I hope you are good. Okay. Now listen carefully. Next point. This is one of the important point. Remember, I have a object called customer. Customer object has ID. We have a field called is deleted. There is a field called is deleted. I told you, every record you create, Salesforce internally create some 18 character ID. I just gave as 001, 001. This is the data we have in the team. I told for every record they are going to create 18 character ID. Okay. Now we have a field called is deleted. Now I have a field called is deleted. Now look at the point. If I delete any one of the record, I deleted this record. Any of the record deleted, you will be still in the table only. If you delete the record, still the record is in the table only. It is not permanently deleted. When you delete any record, record is not permanently deleted, still the record is in the table only. Why? Let us say I deleted this. Record came to 001, 003. If it is deleted permanently, right, the record is deleted from the table. If the record is deleted from the table, when I undelete, what will happen? Record will be recreated. When the record is recreated, new ID will come. When ID changes, it is not the same record, because the Salesforce is recognizing the record based on ID. When you remove from the table, when you bring back the record, when you say undelete, again if you recreate the record, ID will be generated again. Now, if ID is changing, it is not the same record. So, Salesforce is recognizing the record based on ID. So, when you delete the record, it should not be moved from the table, because when somebody undelete, again I should not create a same data. Are you getting my point? Whenever a new record is created again, new ID will be generated. So the Salesforce says, boss, if you delete any record, still the record will be in the database only. Still the record will be in the database table only. But how do I know it is a deleted record? You told the record is deleted, but still the record is in the table. How do you recognize the record is deleted or not deleted? Based on is deleted. The moment you delete the record, value of this field is kept as true. If it is a true, it is a deleted record, don't use in your operation. It cannot be used in the operation. How long it will be in the table? You deleted the record is in the table. How long the record is in the table? It is going to be available for 15 days. After 15 days, record will be permanently deleted. Once the record is permanently deleted, you will not be able to fetch back. So whenever you delete any record, the record still remains in the table for next 15 days. Right. In the next 15 days, when you say undelete, simply the value of is deleted is changed as false. After 15 days, record will be permanently deleted. If the value is deleted equal to true for 15 days, automatically record will be deleted. So how do you know the record is deleted or not deleted? Based on is deleted. Who is going to set? The moment you create a record, Salesforce internally says is deleted equal to false. The moment you delete it, Salesforce internally say is deleted equal to true. I hope you are good with this. Clear? But for your understanding, when you delete, the records will be displayed in the recycle bin. That means it is a UI. The UI they displayed, but actually record is where? Record is in the table only. Are you clear about this concept? So what is the second point we have? Is deleted. When any record is deleted, value is kept as true by the Salesforce. It is also system field because field is created by the Salesforce, data is also managed by Salesforce. When field is created by Salesforce, data is also managed by Salesforce, then they are called system fields. I hope you are good. Second field. Let us go to the third field. Third one is
Satish, I have a question.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that once we undelete the deleted record, system is going to create one more record.
I told if you remove the record from the database table, again if you when you undelete, if record has to create, new ID will be generated. But in the Salesforce, is the record is moving out of the table? No. Why it is not moving? If it is deleted, removed from the table, again when you create a new record, ID will be generated. That is the reason. They are not moving the record out of the table. Simply they are handling with the is deleted equal to true. Now in the table, I have a record. If you delete it, move from the table, and if I bring back the new record again back to the table, obviously it is a new record for me. Because for ID generation is a new record. For you it may be an old record, for our internal system purpose it is a new record because you are recreating one record. There is to avoid this, Salesforce is not deleting the record from the database. It is simply managing with the field called is deleted. Now when I delete, is the record moved from the table? No, still it is in the table. So when I say undelete, same record, same ID. Now we are getting back the same record back. Are you getting my point here? Right, boss? I hope I answered it right. Now let us go to the next one. Created a date. Generally, it is what? Date and time when the record was created. Then we have last modified. This field will store date and time when the record was manually modified. I used a word there, manually. That means user has to go to the record. User has to go to the record modify the value of the field. If you try to modify the field programmatically, it is not considered as last modified by. If you modify the value programmatically, it is not considered as last modified by. If a user manually modify it, let us say I told close date. Now, every day the value will change. I told today plus 15. Tomorrow date will change plus 15. Tomorrow date will change plus 15. This is not modified by me. The formula is modifying the value. Or else I wrote a program because of which the value is getting modified. If you programmatically modify the value, it is not considered as last modified by. You have to go to the record, manually open the record, go to the particular record, manually open the record, modify the value. If I manually modify the value, then only last modified date will be modified here. Last modified date. It is going to be modified only when I modify the date manually. Right. Then I want to know when the record was actually modified, maybe manually or programmatically. Then I will go for system mod stamp. This will store date and time when the record was modified. So when you modified the record manually or programmatically, when was the record modified? Last week. That may be because of programming or that may be because of non-programming. So last modified date, that will have date and time when the record was modified manually. System mod stamp, this will say date and time when the record was modified last week. I hope you got my point. Manually and programmatically, system mod stamp. Only manually, last modified. Created by ID. ID of the user. Now, user is also one of the record in the table. For every user who log in, he will have 18 character ID. User is also stored in table. All the users data are stored in a table. The moment you store in a table, you will have 18 character ID. So, created by ID, 18 character ID of the user who created this record. ID of the user who created this record. Similarly, we have last modified by ID of the user who manually modified. So we have ID is deleted, created date, last modified date, close date, system mod stamp, created by ID, last modified by ID. ID is deleted, created date, last modified date, close date, system mod stamp, created by ID, last modified by ID. So these are the fields what we have, which are called as system fields. So system fields are also a part of standard fields. Okay. Now in this system field, some of the fields are called audit fields. Some of the standard fields are called system fields. Some of the system fields are called audit fields. What are they? Created date, last modified date, created by ID, last modified by ID, system mod stamp. These fields are called audit fields. Some of the system fields are called audit fields. Okay, boss, hard copies are given, right? Yesterday hard copies object creation is given, right? The field notes is there. They'll give it. Listen. Don't write all Bhagavad Gitas and Bibles. Right? Listen to the class. Now, these are the fields what we have. Audit fields. Now look at the format. Now, let me give one of the issue what we faced in the project. One of the issue what we faced with respect to the system fields and how we resolved it. Basically, we was working for one German-based company. Okay, it has multiple branches, although it's one of the Samsung, basically this is Samsung company. Now we are working for it, and one of the team, our Artech team is in the Chennai branch. We are working in the Chennai, right? Now we have a operation. Actually, we are supposed to fetch the data from Delbumi, upload the data to Salesforce. That was the actual schedule. So what we do basically, on a nightly basis we need to monitor. On a nightly basis we have to monitor to fetch the data from our third-party Apollo system and fetch it and upload to Salesforce. This is done by using a tool called Delbumi. We used to use a tool called Delbumi to upload the data. Now the issue is, when you install, now cloud-based Delbumi came, but that time it's only on-premise. So we install the tool, we are working on it. Now the issue is, the moment you install the Delbumi on your system, if you are uploading, whatever the device on which you have installed, the time zone is taken. The device on which you have installed this tool from, that system time zone will be taken into consideration. Okay. Now a new guy has recruited into our team, right? So he was assigned a task to monitor and upload the data, because it's only data migration, a small uploading. So he's a small guy in our team. So we assigned him to it. This guy, as I knew, he forgot to change the time zone of the system to PST, and he just uploaded the data. Now the data by default, it was taken as our Chennai location was taken as time zone, and data was uploaded to your application. Now there were some notifications and fines which will be imposed on the data, which will be imposed based on the created date. There will be some notifications and points and fines that will be imposed based on the dates. Now what happened when this guy uploaded? Now the people are getting fined one day earlier. Now you have 30 days time to pay the money, but they say some invoice. If you don't pay the invoice by this day, 30% of invoice, you will be charged a late fee. Now these guys are getting late fee charges one day before. There was an issue with that. Then we uploaded. This will be calculated after 6 months actually. This is a calculation of late fees and it will be after 6 months. Okay. Now the issue raised after 6 months. We already uploaded the data and nothing was happening because it's only one day. So everything was running good. But after 6 months, the data which was created today, the impact was after 6 months because the calculations were made after 6 months. Then when we recognized the database, we found that all the people who are complaining are uploaded in a single day. Then we recognized the issue may be because of this. But the problem is, system fields cannot be modified by us. What are the system fields? These are the fields which are created by the Salesforce and also modified by the Salesforce. You have only read access. You don't have any modification access. So I cannot modify the data. Now if I delete the data and recreate, my created date will be lost. The age of the record will be lost. Now if I delete the set of data, recreate it, I may get all the entire data, but the age of the record will be lost, because based on the age we have calculations again. So he's a 6 months old customer. I cannot delete the data and re-upload it. Age of the record is lost. So we had this issue while working with this application. Basically, we uploaded the data in the wrong time zone. Now in the current applications of the Salesforce, it is taking the time zone of the user who logged in. If you don't modify it, by default, it will take the time zone of the user who logged in. Previously, we need to manually set it. Now, as I told you, the tool what we are using is Delbumi, and it is considered the time zone of the system from where we logged in. Now, my choice is I was forced to modify the data, but I don't have the choice to modify. I cannot delete the data because the age of the record is lost. Then we have made a request to the Salesforce team to enable edit on audit fields. We raised a case with the Salesforce team to enable edit on audit fields. When you raise this request, Salesforce will enable an option called edit on audit fields. Whatever the fields I told as audit fields, there will be edit on audit fields is enabled. That will be enabled for a week. Once they enable, the option will be live for you for 7 days. After 7 days, automatically it will be deactivated. So once it is enabled, we'll be able to modify this created date and last modified date. So this is how we resolve this issue. Okay, there's not by default enable option. You cannot manually enable it. You need to raise a case with the Salesforce team. They will enable that option. The moment they enable the option, they'll ask you which field need to be enabled. Now we told say created date and last modified date. So they enable us this option. Then we are able to re-upload the data by modifying the created date. Then we resolve. After 1 week, automatically that option will be lost. Right. So this is how the issue what we face with respect to system audit fields and how we resolved it. Okay. So what I want to convey is, in case of any issue with respect to audit fields, still we can rectify it with the help of Salesforce support team. You cannot manually do it, but still if there is an impact on the business, we can still communicate with the Salesforce team to get edit on this field. Basically, you don't get edit on this field, but if it is impacting the business, we can make a case to the Salesforce team. They have an option called edit on audit fields. Once that option is enabled, you will be able to modify it. Even the system fields you will be able to modify it. By default, the service is not available. Depends upon the type of customer and impact on the business. They will enable this option. Okay, right, boss? This is one of the solution what we have. Right. Next, we have seen standard fields, system fields, and some of the fields I told audit fields. Now, when they enable the option, audit will come on what? Only created date, last modified date. Okay, created by ID, last modified by ID. On the system mod stamp also, you will not get the option. So only 4 fields they will be enabling it. What is that? Created date, last modified date, then created by ID, last modified by ID. These are the 4 fields on which you will be granted permission to modify. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Then come back to the next one. We have the next one, custom fields. What are the custom fields? Fields, right? Fields which we have created as per the business requirement are called custom fields. The fields which we have created according to your business requirement are called custom fields. Even we have encountered one issue on this. Let me convey. Now, when you say custom field, you are creating the fields. You are creating your own fields. How many fields you can create? It is not infinity. How many fields you can create? Okay, the number of fields what we can create depends upon the edition what you are taking. The number of custom fields what you are trying to take, what you are trying to create, it will be depends upon the edition you are taken. So we are using enterprise edition. If I remember, it is a insurance American General Life Accident Insurance application. If I remember well, right? That was a custom field. Now, how many fields we can create? 200 fields we can create. Maximum number of fields what we can create is 200. Now the point is we already lost the limit of 200 because we customized to max. We already lost the limit of 200. As per the Salesforce, if you have purchased enterprise edition on an object, we can have only 200 fields, 200 custom fields. Because we never use the standard fields, we have customized completely. It's a 200 plus fields you already created because it is taking the data of customer, distributor, primary, secondary, third levels of distribution you are taking. Now we are supposed to delete some of the fields because the limit is already crossed. Limit is already crossed. Now there are 2 choices. You communicate with the Salesforce team, pay extra, get the extra fields, or else remove unwanted fields which you are not using. But the point here is already we have a data, millions of records are there in that table. It is an insurance application, you can expect the number of records. Now, when you have millions of records in the database, now I cannot find out which field will have, which field is maximum used, which field is not maximum, okay, not used. In how many records the value of this field is entered, how many records the value of the field is not entered. There, again, we have created one accelerator. This was the issue what we faced while creating a custom field. As a solution to this, what we have done is, we have created one accelerator. One small tool which will analyze a tool by using a tooling API. Now the purpose of this is this will verify list of fields. In how many records the values are entered. Now they have 1000 records. Out of these 1000 records, okay, in how many records the value of this field is entered. Like that, we made a small accelerator there that will be showing the index of in how many records the value is entered, and we sorted the data, whichever the fields least used. Okay, we have verified the priority of the field and need of that field in the business, and we remove those fields and recreate the remaining fields what we require. This is one of the issue what we faced at the time of creating a custom field. Why this issue came? Because there is a limitation on number of custom fields what you can create. How many custom fields you can create based on the edition what you have taken, the limitations are there. As I told you, enterprise 200 custom field. It's a huge number, but according to my requirement, it has already crossed. Are you getting? If you go with the enterprise 200, unlimited 2000 we can create. Unlimited 2000 fields. That never encounters the issue. Are you getting my point here? Clear for everyone? Right? So depends upon the edition, we have a limitation on number of custom fields what you can create. Right? Okay. What is a custom field? The field which a user is creating according to his organizational business requirement. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Inside the object. One object 200. 200 fields for one particular object. Okay. That we encoded on account object actually. So we are using an account for a distributor, customer, and primary and secondary people. Okay. Fine. When you want to create your own fields, the question is what type of fields you have? What are the data types we have? What type of fields we have? Okay. And the fields belongs to which part of MVC? As I told you, always objects, fields will fall under model part of MVC. Second one, in how many ways you can create the field? The field can be created in 3 different ways. One is standard navigation using a wizards. Second one, schema builder. Third one, metadata SOAP API web service. So in how many ways we can create? There are 3 ways in which we can create custom field. One is a standard navigation. Second one is a schema builder. Third one is a metadata SOAP API web service. Declarative 2 ways, programmatical 1 way. Right. Okay. Now when you are ready to create the fields, first they ask you what are the data types you have. What are the data types we have? What type of fields we can create? Look at the format. We'll start with setup, build, create. What we have? Objects. Field has to be created in the object only. Then go to customer. What we have? Custom fields and relations. We scroll down. Now how many custom fields we had? Liberties. It's a trial version. They have given a limitation of 500. Okay. So beyond this you cannot create. Okay. Now when you go to enterprise, you find only 200. Okay. Now look at the navigation once again. Setup, build, create, objects. Choose whatever the object you want. Then you find custom fields and relations. Now create new. When I click on new, they will ask you which type of field you want to create. They will show you a list of all the data types.
We don't have audio again.
Satish,
Yeah, boss.
able to hear your voice.
This issue with the net actually. Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Satish, there is the audio problem.
Am I audible now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an
So
issue
there's
with
an issue
the
with the net. Issue with the net. Okay, we'll wind up. We'll have the session. We'll continue in the next class. So we'll continue this part in the next session. Okay. So any query as of now? What we done?
Yeah, Satish, I got one query. If you don't. Yeah, you said if a record is created, the ID will be created, right?
Yes.
So I have deleted that. It will be in the recycle bin. So
No.
I want to undelete it.
No. When you delete it, record is not in the recycle bin. It is in the table only. Recycle bin is a page in which deleted records are displayed. Doesn't mean that record is in recycle bin. When you please mute your mic, Amma. Vijay, I'll mute your mic. I'll answer the question. Now, when you delete a record is in the table only. It is not recycle bin. Is not a recycle bin. Is a page where you are showing the list of records which are deleted. Record is not moving to recycle bin. Record is in the table only. But the deleted records in the recycling page they are displaying. Recycle bin is a page where they are displaying. The deleted record is still in the table only. The deleted record is still in the table only. The deleted record is still in the table only. But they are visible in the recycle bin. When you go to recycle bin, they have page. You look at the point. If you go to recycle bin, I got a record here. I got a record, deleted the record. I got a record, I deleted the record. Now go to recycle bin. It is a displayed in the recycle. It's a page for you. It is a page for you. In the page you are able to display. But where is the record? Record is still in the object only. Let me show you. Let me show you that record is still in the object. Now I am writing a query on database. I am writing one query. Now on which table I am writing? I'll just show you. I'm just writing some program to show you that record is still in the table. Where I'm writing, my query was on account table. I created a record. Record is displayed in the recycling page. But now, if I go to this, we have created a test, right? Where was the record? The record is shown along with other. Along with other records, we are able to see the test record here. So where is the record? Record is still in the table only. When you delete, record is not removed from the table. Still the record is in the table only. Still the record is in the table. But it is displayed in the recycle because you should know which records are deleted. So they are displaying in the recycle bin. But where is the record? Still the record is in the table only. I hope you're good. Okay. Now look at the point. Here to understand the same point, I'm giving account where is deleted equal to. I told where is deleted equal to true. From the table, get me the data where is deleted equal to true. If I write this, so in the table, the value of this record is kept as is deleted equal to true. That's how it indicates it's a deleted record. Right? Now, generally, when you write a query, when you fetch the data, deleted records will not get. I have written some extra condition to get the deleted records. Generally, I was not supposed to write this. Only the non-deleted records will be coming now. Are you getting my point? record is still in the table only, but it is displayed in the UI of recycle bin saying that this was deleted by you. Right, Amma? Now see, I have a table, boss. Pages I can create multiple pages. Am I right? I have a database table, but the display pages is my choice. How many pages I want to display, in which page, which data I want to display is my choice. That's what they are showing. Right, Amma? Any other queries from your end?
Means we can't see that record on the display page, right? You means it will be
No.
there. You means you can't see, right?
You can't see. You can see them in recycle bin page. When
Okay,
you delete the record,
yeah.
when you delete the record, non-deleted records are seen in the table. Deleted records are displayed on the recycle bin. Now they should differentiate it. This is not deleted data. This is a deleted data. Deleted data they are showing in recycle bin page. Non-deleted data they are showing under the object. That is the mean. Yes,
So if I get that record back, you are saying the ID will be changed, right?
boss, first reduce your volume. We are wearing earphones. Yeah, reduce your volume. Yeah. Now speak. Yeah.
If you want to get back that record from
It's
the
already in the table. That's it. You're not trying to get my point. Now it's the record is already in the table. When you say undelete, if you are get back means what? When you are undeleting. When you say get back, what does it mean? You are undeleting. When you undelete, value of is deleted equal to true is modified as false. See, you said the record is deleted. Right. Now when you say record is deleted in the table, the value of age deleted is kept as true. Then how will you get back? There will be a button called undelete. When you click on that button called undelete, now we have button called undelete. When you click on undelete, then record is getting back. Right? When you say undelete, what does it mean? The value of is deleted is kept as false. That's all. Only it's a jumble of the value of called is deleted. If you make it true, it is a deleted. If you make it false, it is undeleted. As simple as that. Right, boss? Yeah.
So Satish,
No,
if I
same ID.
understood,
Now, see, unwanted confusion you are leading with unwanted questions. Right? It's very simple. Don't make it a khichdi. Very simple. Now, operation is in a table we have a record. Any data you create, it's in the table. If you, the moment you say delete, in the table only, the value of is deleted is modified as true. When you say undelete, the record is in the same table. Okay, in a record, how many IDs will be there? One ID. That in the same table, same record is still there. When you say undelete, value of is deleted is kept as what? False. Okay, it's only a value. I have a table here. See, boss. How will you modify this value? Now look at this. I have some record here. This is the record. If I modify age from 33 to 55, will the ID of the record will change? Will the ID of the record will change? No, right? Is it changing? No. What do you do? Value of the age you modified. Is the record is going out? Every time you modify, record will be deleted. Fresh record will be created. No, right? I modified again 30. Record will be deleted. New record will be created. New ID will be created. No, right? If the record is there, we are manipulating the value of the field. We are manipulating the value of the field. Now on the record also, there are two buttons we have. Delete button. When you click on delete button, what they are doing? They are modifying the value of this false as. What I am doing? It is a field, right? I told very clearly it is a field. The value of the field is modified. When you modify the value of the field, ID of the record will change? No, right? So what you are saying, if the value is true, consider that this is a deleted record. Now, I clicked on another button, undelete. Get back means what? There should be a button there, right? When you click on a button or a link only, action will be performed. You told on UI. Where are you doing? On UI. On UI, you clicked on a button. What they told? If somebody click on undelete button, modify this value. Right? Record is still there. Only the value of each deleted is modified. As simple as that. Right? How you modified age from 30 to 50? Similarly, I modified the value of each deleted equal to true or false. Right? Now I told if it is a true, consider that it is a deleted record. If it is false, consider that it is a non-deleted record. So how many pages they are giving? They have created two different pages. One page will show non-deleted. This page is showing. What is this page called? Recycle bin page. What is this page called? Object page. Table is what? Table is what? Same table. On the same table, non-deleted records they are showing here. Deleted records they are showing here. How many tables we have? Only one table. How many records we have? Only one record. ID is what? Only one. If it is false, this record will be displayed here. If I make it true, delete from here. If I undelete, delete from here. Now, these are pages, sir. You are looking page and database. That's the problem. Now, what we are discussing? We are discussing about database. Now, you are comparing with the pages. That's the problem, basically. Now, with the database table, record is created and it has 18 character ID. And we have one of the field called is deleted. If you delete, the value is true. Not deleted, value is false. As simple as that. If the value is true, how long it will be? After 15 days, record will be removed from the database. Removed means removed. After that, you cannot get back. After 15 days, you cannot say I will undelete. Not possible. Right, Amma? I hope I am clear. Okay, chalo. Yes.
Satish, when you undelete, will the create date change or it will not impact any of that?
Last modified. It's not created. Last modified. You modified the value, not the created, right?
Okay.
So, Satish, one last question.
Yeah.
What is the navigation for recycle bin? Because the screen is blinking, I can't see that.
Click on the object, any one of the tab, at the bottom you'll be finding it. Click on any one of the tab, at the left corner you'll be finding the recycle bin. Click on any tab on the left corner, you'll be finding it.